Flash fact, the human head can be twisted around almost 3.5 times before it pops off. And yeah, we want to know how they figured that one out too. Hello, and welcome back to the only show that reminds you that there's a fine line between being thoughtful and offering free handjobs in a bus station bathroom. Yeah, we said it. Here on the PeterPod Network! Season 2!
Because your theory is we're going to go down there and have a donkey barbecue and I'm going to furnish the ass, right? You are not. You don't know where that's been.
Welcome back once again to another oddly satisfying episode of the PeterPod Network. And let's start episode 27 off the only way we know how. I am PeterPod, he's Will in the back, and this week's mascot, Japan, aka the people who created meth. So now you know what to blame for a whole mess of things. That's right, we are back again this week with a brand new show that is sure to piss off some and make others question their choices. Like, frankly, why are you listening to this show? And this week we're talking about American Idol is coming to New Hampshire, but not really. It's more like when your father gives you a call from the Christmas party he's having with his new family. A man jumped off a Manhattan high-rise and was able to reach all the way across the street. Well, some of them did. There's a drone dropping bags of shit and eggs on the homeless in Manchester, and while it is totally not funny, it is still kind of funny. A YouTuber went and accidentally showed his junk on a live stream, which led to a certain stereotype about black men being debunked. An 11-time murderer was found hiding out on Rye Beach in New Hampshire, and we have a shitload of questions about that one. You better believe that shit. Britney Spears' new brand of batshit crazy has led to an announcement that she is getting divorced. And if you're willing to navigate that ocean of bipolar manic insanity, you are a better man than I. And former Trainwreck Tan Mom has announced that she is running for a U.S. Senate seat out of Florida. And our guess is she's running as a candidate of the Leatherface Party. All this and more on this week's episode of the PeterPod Network. And this week's email comes from Jay in Derry. Jay, you son of a bitch. Good to hear from you again. Anyways, Jay writes, the new commercials are not bad. Are they going to keep changing? And when is the show going to be on Apple Podcasts? Well, it's always nice to hear from our favorite internet stalker. But Jay, as far as Apple goes, and we don't want to lie to you, you get enough of that every time a woman says I love you. So we'll just say that everyone who has an Apple Podcast app also has Spotify, and you can find us on there. So quit your bitching. Plus, if you've ever seen an Apple contract, think about the user agreement you agreed to for your iPhone, except it has an even tighter grip on your balls. As for the commercials, yeah, we expect for our sponsors to change here and there, so make sure to check us out each week to see what and who we're working with now. We won't spoil it for you this week, so you just have to wait for after the PPN news to hear the new commercial from our brand new sponsor, Love is Blind Dating Services. And we thank them and you for supporting our shitty little show. And if you want your email read on the show just like Jay and Derry, you can hit us up at thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't. And as always, remember our special message. Mostly because we don't want to hear the bitching that comes after we respond because, well, we are giant assholes. Like, seriously, we enjoy it. And we will bring your mother into it. That's the PeterPodNetwork@gmail.com. Remember the THE or you ain't speaking to me. Subscribe, like, and follow whatever platform you're listening to us on. You can find us on all the major socials. That's Facebook, the new one X, and the home of the Insta whores. And for those who listen to their shit on the go, you can also be found on Amazon Music, Spotify, Samsung Podcast, YouTube, and a bunch of other places that we aren't honestly, well, we don't remember all of them. So if you see a search bar, type in PeterPod Network and see what happens. And before we get into our first segment this week, we want to remind you to send in your votes for your favorite songs by the Sound Company for the upcoming music episode number 3, otherwise known as episode 34, season 2. We got 2 new songs again this week from our house band. We're probably going to be a little pissy that I just called them the house band. But make sure to get your suggestions in so we can make a show that we know you want to hear. And now that we're done with the morning announcements, let's get the camp day started with... What are the words to this song? I don't know, but I'll carry on. Because I've got something to say. And here comes the rant of the week. That's right, the rant is back again this week. Because when you've had too much to drink and you're starting to feel froggy, what better way to do what my grandpa used to do and let everyone know exactly how you feel, whether they want to hear it or not. Except unlike grandpa, ours won't be about the Jews. Yes, indeedy, we came across a story that came out this week from the entertainment world. That shouldn't surprise anyone, at least not in the current social climate we live in, but it still includes just a bit more fuckery than really should be allowed. Former Carolina Panthers offensive tackle Michael Orr, who's also the subject of the award-winning movie The Blind Side from 2009, has come out against the Dewey family that informally adopted him in the movie, stating that the family owes Orr millions of dollars in royalties from the film, and that they never actually adopted him, were only conservators to allow Michael Orr to attend college. And the amount of people who remember watching The Blind Side are now thinking back and realizing that is exactly what the movie said. So other than the former football star with the really sad fucking stories claim that his quasi-parents took his money, which, not for nothing, but the crazy-ass stories of other stars' parents stealing their money that we found are fucking wild. Former Goonie Corey Feldman had to start his emancipation proceedings when he was 15, but he also tried way too hard to be Michael Jackson, so we actually have different questions. Gary Coleman went fucking bankrupt, which does explain why he was so angry all the time, as if life isn't hard enough not being tall enough to ride in a car without a booster seat. Amanda Bynes said her folks stole her shit, but she is also on so many psych meds that she very well could have meant her parents' toilet is literally stealing her shit before she can eat it. Aaron Carter made similar claims, but he also once said, "That's gonna look awesome tattooed on my face," so we have to assume that his judgment was questionable at best. May he rest in peace. Anyways, other than having shitty parents, which, get in line, pal, my dad once got my dog a DUI, and my very Christian girlfriend's mother was the one who told me. But other than having shitty folks, which isn't anything new, well, we actually found to be the source of that little bit of extra fuckery. And yeah, we know he took a while getting to it, but in what we are sure is an unintended side effect of Michael Orr's claims, what can only be the most sad and pathetic aspect of the human race, and we're talking about the people who watch The View for the hot political takes. Well, they're bitching for Sandra Bullock, who starred in the film as Orr's sorta adopted mom, and who actually won an Oscar for her work in the role. Well, she's now being called on to return her Oscar as if that would have any effect on the situation at all. Never mind that I thought we were done with cancel culture a year ago. Roseanne Barr is even back to calling Democrats pussies. And actually that may have been Grandpa again, so don't hold me to that one. But now Sandra Bullock has quote-unquote sources revealing that she is heartbroken that such a wonderful story is being tainted. Which, yeah, right, but whatever. I remember the movie as well, and it even shows the Dewey family being investigated for using Michael Orr for their own game by the NCAA or some shit. The real story doesn't sound like it's any different than what we saw on the screen. Except the real story has a part 2 that involves everyone wondering why an adult Michael Orr, who is a goddamn sports star for a professional football team that is paying him millions, we have to imagine, was still having his money controlled by his mommy and daddy and not someone who actually does that for a living. There's no one asking that ugly fucking question. So did they steal from the football star? Probably. We don't know or really care. But isn't it at least a little bit his fault for letting the whitest people in the Confederate South hold on to the money of a very rich black man? We had a whole fucking civil war over this shit, if I remember right. Speaking of which, and I'm sure this is one that's going to bring in some hate mail, but why the hell do minorities still live in the South after the Civil War? You just showing off, like Nana Boo Boo kind of thing? You have to be just walking around going, "Yep, that guy hates me. Oh, that guy too. Oh, that old white lady really fucking hates me." Stick around for the sound company next, and then New Hampshire's own PPN News. I can't help it if that's my name that my mom gave to me on my birthday. She named me Charlie Sheen. Work at a law firm in Peoria, and I wouldn't know what to do with tiger blood. Why did she name me Charlie Sheen? You can't imagine what it's like to be mistaken for that fucking guy. Why did my mom name me Charlie Sheen? Was the crack habit? Was the backstabbing? Was it because mom got around like a jackrabbit? Was the money or the fame that she never lost a game? Was my mom in love with Charlie Sheen? And now every time I go to the pharmacy, everybody assumes it's for HIV, because my name is Charlie Sheen. Did you think about it? Someone tell you something? Was it because I was white as a bran muffin? When it's the middle of the game and they announce my name, why the hell am I called Charlie Sheen? You can't imagine what it's like to step? Was it because mom got around like a jackrabbit? Was the money or the fame that she never lost a game? Was my mom in love with Charlie Sheen? Coming to you live from the PeterPod News Station's world-famous Stage 5. Join our host in discovering what makes you tick, New Hampshire. Is your neighbor secretly running a Taiwanese brothel out of his basement? He is. Are they open when I get off work tonight? They are. Do we know if they accept checks? They do. Can someone call my wife and let her know I'll be late? On it. This is the PPN News. Welcome back to New Hampshire's only half-assed local news. American Idol has announced that it is coming to New Hampshire when it holds auditions this Friday. But if they were being honest, they would have just said, American Idol is getting as close to New Hampshire as they can without having to actually touch any of you mouth breathers, as they are throwing virtual auditions online, which not only prevent any security concerns for the celebrities involved, but also allow the judges to hang up in your pathetic ass when you start crying about how this has always been your dream after you lost your mom to God knows what. These people don't fucking care. Throw your mom in a fucking hole already and get to singing, Brenda. We're on a schedule. Those who do auditions must be between the ages of 15 and 28 to audition because American Idol is bigoted against silver foxes, apparently. But looking back in the history of the show, I think Susan Boyle having a face that led to a lot of interactions with the local dog catchers everywhere she performed on tour might have something to do with it. The birds in Manchester and surrounding areas of New Hampshire have gotten fucking big. Nope, wait, it's a drone that just dropped a bunch of eggs on you. And you can count yourself as one of the lucky ones, as reports are coming in that a drone is dropping eggs, grapes, popsicles, and bags of shit on homeless populations, as either someone finally had enough with the problem that has no solution, or some kids out there enjoying toys that I only wish I had when I was their age. And just being honest here, well, they're doing exactly what my friends and I would have done if we had drones, except we would have done it to the queer kid. The overall sentiment regarding the poo dropping incidents are that this is no laughing matter. Except the person who was operating the drone, who we're willing to bet, well, that guy's laughing his ass off. But police are investigating the incidents, as local homeless advocate groups are now out raising awareness and educating the residents of Manchester, as they see the biggest cause of these acts is ignorance. To which everyone else said, no, we're pretty sure it's because we're afraid to walk down the street. Not just because of the violence, but the human shit on the sidewalks doesn't help either. Authorities went to one New Hampshire beach and came back with more than a decent tan when they came back with 29-year-old and 11-time convicted murderer Antonio Vidal of Brazil at Rye Beach in New Hampshire. Vidal was found guilty in a 2015 South American massacre and was apparently hiding out in the area as he was wanted on warrants out of Brazil. Vidal's lawyers, hilariously enough, state that he is innocent and should not be deported. But something tells us once a South American country finds you guilty of a hanging crime, well, I think the best word that describes your hopes of preventing deportation, well, that's fuck. If and when he is sent back to a Brazilian prison cell, Vidal is looking at 275 years behind bars. And if you think the cellmates in America are something to worry about, in Brazil you get to have 36 cellmates. And that's in a cell that ain't much bigger than the holding cell at the Manchester police compound. Good luck rubbing one out in there. I've tried. Not just because of the lack of privacy either. You don't want to go and give anyone ideas because gang rape is apparently a really big problem in Brazilian jails. Which actually gives us a question. Can someone tell us why New Hampshire is suddenly a great place for people running from the law? We had that Ghislaine Maxwell bitch in the woods of Bradford hiding out, and now we have international pieces of shit chilling on our beaches. Somebody want to find out what the fuck's going on? And now, a word from our sponsor. Love is blind. We can find you love in exchange for some money. Hi, my name's Derek, and here at Love is Blind Dating Services, love is only a credit card payment away. And with that in mind, your future someone special is out there, and we'll find them for you for a nominal fee. Because like we always say at Love is Blind, we'll find you love if you give us money. At Love is Blind, you can meet people like Daryl.
Hey, my name's Daryl, and I ain't got no job or car or nothing, but I need a bitch. Gotta have someone to rub my feet and make me dinner and then get mad when I hit on your kids. But anyways, if you got kids, all the better. Alright, I'm Daryl.
Whoa, Daryl, you better watch out. You're gonna have some single mommies climbing your tree like a hooker looking for a free dollar. So come on down to Love is Blind on the corner of 38th and Swayze. Love is blind. We can find you love in exchange for some money. Listen to stories from around the Welcome back to another edition of Our World, our little way of saying, you're a giant piece of shit. But aren't we all? The New York Post reporting that a man has jumped off the popular Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Manhattan, New York's Billionaire Row. And those who witnessed the horrible incident say that when the body hit the marquee, it split in half and the unidentified jumper landed on both sides of the street. Which, come on, give the man credit. That is not easy to do. The poor bastard who jumped hasn't been identified yet. Probably because if you want to take his dental impressions, you're going to have to pull them out of the asphalt with pliers. And the fact the rest of him was probably in a partially liquid form. But the info that has been released is that he was up in his pajamas, but did not live there, or even have a reason to be in the building. But he did enter the building through the freight elevator before jumping from roughly 750 feet up. Because of these details, some are speculating that he may have been sleepwalking when he entered the building and plunged from the high elevation, which will now be my new nightmare that I'm going to wake up mid-fall. That and being sucked into Lizzo's folds. An internet personality had a really bad show last week when streamer iShowSpeed accidentally flashed his viewers a little more than he wanted. We do mean a little. iShowSpeed has already come out and commented on how fast the internet was able to get its shit together and create meme after meme making fun of the star, though he was mostly complaining about how it hurt his feelings, which of course only led to more even funnier memes. And how did this happen, many are asking? Because some accuse the man of doing the old Ric Flair rope trick for his viewers on purpose. But in reality, videos reported to show iShowSpeed playing a video game that my 10-year-old used to play 5 years ago. And after being jump scared, he jumped up and started humping the air, and his wee little embarrassment flipped out and ruined a perfectly good stereotype. Once he realized what had happened, the streaming star looked at the camera and muttered an, "Oh my God." And then his live chat blew the fuck up and he became internet gold. So good luck, iShowSpeed. What you did was dumb. I mean, really fucking dumb. But look on the bright side. Now, instead of sending dick pics, you can just send a link. Think how much time that's going to save you. And Brittany Spears has scored another point in her contest with Kim Kardashian as to how many horrible marriages they can go through before somebody sews their vaginas shut for their own good. As right after 14 months of marriage, Britney Spears' haunted vagina is once again on the market for those of you out there looking for a fixer-upper. As Sam Asghari has filed for divorce from the singer after reports surfaced that she forgot about the home security cameras and was allegedly gone on video fucking the help 2 at a time. Asghari has also reportedly told people that Britney has attacked him, and from all the stripper videos she's been putting out on social media, that looked more like a methamphetamine-inspired attention whore in desperate need of her medication. Well, we believe him. At least this time she didn't shave her head, though if she does try to go full Sinead O'Connor again, hopefully she'll really commit to the role. While Sam Asghari has spoken out about the divorce online, so far the only word from Britney Spears' camp is that she bought a new horse. So it sounds like she'll be just fine, and as for Sam, if the prenup sucks, at least you have one hell of a book deal to look forward to. And in other news this week, many professions come with stereotypes. We all used to be terrified that the mailman would go postal in the 90s, and dentists are apparently always been the most likely to commit suicide. And now it looks like these days, a whole new profession is leading the way in the race of the possibly unhinged, as the United Airlines pilot has been suspended from work. And if you're wondering why, oh, that may be because he brought a fucking axe to work and decided he had had enough of the parking situation at Denver International Airport, and took out his frustrations by chopping down the parking gate like some homicidal Paul Bunyan in serious need of lithium. But to be fair, anyone who has ever parked at an airport has wanted to do the same thing once or twice. The difference is, though, that we don't have a goddamn axe at the ready when we feel those sudden urges to do things that get us a 72-hour psychiatric hold. And finally tonight, former internet sensation and one-time cause to call Child Protective Services, Patricia Krenzel, also known as the 55-year-old tan mom, has announced that besides being batshit crazy, she's also going to run for the Senate as a member of the Florida delegation. And if you think about this, she just might be the best representative for that entire fucking state. She's tanned so much that no one can tell if she's Latino or alligator leather. All the white people are terrified of her, and her entire life story reads like it begins with the words Florida man. She may actually be a better representative of Florida than a coked-up Cuban looking for a hooker, which, coincidentally enough, used to be the Florida State motto. Alongside the run for the U.S. Senate, Tan Mom is also filming her new reality show that is sure to entertain the masses and send her children into at least 10 more years of therapy. So if you live in Florida, make sure to get out there and vote for Tan Mom. Just another reason people deny being from Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sound Company.
Nobody likes to see me when I come around, 'cause me and my boy And income tax evasion is what we're all about. Paper clips, ballpoint pens, and the tax code. Then I come loaded with a full clip of those little sticky notes. My calculator's my Excalibur that I use to examine your world. Any deductions, exemptions, your money dependence, any single little thing that maybe you shouldn't. This next part, it may hurt. You know I know what you did last summer, you hoe. You ain't got yourself some amazing tits. Now get ready to pay the IRS. Hey ladies, say what? Hey guys, yeah? How's it gonna be when we take everything? So pay your taxes and feel my audit. But like they always say, to keep the taxman away, you gotta put something in my pocket. Paper clips, ballpoint pens, and the tax code. Then I come loaded with a full clip of those little sticky notes. My calculator's my Excalibur that I use to examine your world. Any deductions, exemptions, your money dependence, any single little thing that maybe you shouldn't. This next part, it may hurt. Nobody likes to see me when I come around, 'cause me and my boys, yeah, we run this town.
And that is our show for this week. Thanks for tuning in and checking out the PeterPod Network. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow wherever you find us. You can also catch us on Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Podcast Index, YouTube, Spotify, and more. If you see a search bar, just type in PeterPod Network and see what happens. Send your emails to the PeterPodNetwork@gmail.com. Remember to get your votes in for your favorite songs. Maybe we'll make fun of you on the show just like Jay and Derry. And of course, we just realized we didn't tell you in the beginning of the show to find the archives at PeterPodNetwork.com and see why we are New Hampshire's favorite shitty little show. So for Will in the back, I am PeterPod, and our mascot this week, Japan, aka where all the people say, at least we're not China. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday, only on the PeterPod Network.